Hola, mi gente. Sometimes I'm asked by several people, how is my day? And that I should tape a little bit more of my day because people might want to know more about this future congressman, right? So how did it all start? So basically, this is how I start my day. I'm here in my home, and this is what I do during the day. I usually wake up, come here and feed these birds. We have a pond back here. Let me see if you can see any of them. I don't know if you can see them. We got a couple of turtles in there, 3 turtles. We got some fish, and we feed them. Birds love it. Look at the birds. So we got to maintain this area because this is a guest house. This is a business. The house has 3 floors. And by the way, you see, we have solar. We're one of the only people in this neighborhood to provide solar. 51%, 49 to 59% of my electricity comes from the sun. So come here, then I sit here, right here, by this tree, and I meditate because my father always taught me that trees have an incredible energy, and this tree in particular. Look at this tree. This tree was planted here by the woman who I bought the house from when she passed away. She was 107, and she planted this from something like this. So you know this has to have a lot of energy, right? And just look at that. We also have that other tree here. So I feel blessed that we have this type of energy around us. Then, when I finish doing my exercise and when I finish doing my Tai Chi, my stretching, yoga, and like I said, my meditation, because when you're like 67 years old, you gotta stay young, man. The reason I stay young is because you gotta stay positive, and the foods that we eat, very positive food. So if you see here, there's always fruit in the house, always. And that's what I eat for breakfast. I do not eat eggs, drink coffee, and all that stuff that I used to do all the time. For the last almost 30 years, all I eat in the morning is for breakfast is fruit. And then how I keep fruit even in the winter, see? These are papayas that we cut up, put them in the freezer. These are mangoes that we brought from the property in Puerto Rico, and we buy them in the summer now when they're here in season, and we cut them up, we put them in the freezer. Coconut, berries, you name it, whatever's in season, we get now, and we freeze it. So every morning I can have my morning breakfast. Let me just show you something. One of my collections. People like to know what I collect. I collect dragons. I have dragons all over the house. And I also collect Tai Chi figures. Just to motivate me. And of course, the house is full of art. By the way, this one was done by my grandson and 2 of his friends who came and stayed here. And I have other pieces of art from different Puerto Rican, Latino artists. Because if it wasn't for the Bronx, none of this would be going on, right? Then I come down to here. This is what I call my war room. This is when I stay away from everything, get away from everything. This is where I spend a lot of time writing the book that I wrote. This is where I spend time writing articles for the website, which I just finished one on latinosports.com. In fact, let me just make sure that this is published now. So this is now hopefully up online. Let me see here. Yep. So that's up. And then I'm gonna take my bike and I am going to go down to visit a friend, volunteer who worked with us on several issues in the past, and she called and we spoke, and she's having some serious issues in her NYCHA apartment. And part of this campaign is we're going to take on the issue of NYCHA big time. We are going to make sure that we expose a lot of the situations there, not just go there to collect petitions or to, try to get votes. But we've been going to NYCHA for a while when there are no elections. And that's where I'm going to today to deal with that. And I'll talk to you a little bit more, guys, once I get there and show you what some of the people in this community go through. And then from there, I'm going to go to 149th Street. I'm going to spend some time in Ms. Carmen Arroyo's office while I'm doing some work on the issue of the Jones Act and with her support. Yeah, I know that's blowing a lot of people's minds, right? Because of the fact that we ran against her daughter. But I believe that coalition building is very important. And those of you who read my book recognize how we did that in a historical way when it was a Republican group that gave me permission to use their name to criticize Giuliani, which eventually led to Fidel Castro coming to the Bronx. It wasn't a revolutionary group. It wasn't a progressive group. It wasn't even a liberal group. It was a Republican, statehood, millionaires, but all Puerto Rican and all had something in common. They all agree with me that what Giuliani did was not right, disinviting Fidel Castro from the dinner that he had for 120 delegates from around the world in 1995. So when you do coalition building, when you're open-minded to be able to deal with people who you might have differences with, but you agree on something that's very important, something that is key for the community, and if you can come together on that, if you can just talk on that, that's very positive and things get done. And that's what we need in this community. We need to stop the divisions. We need to stop people because they're for independence and some against statehood, some for statehood against independence. Some people who won't support a campaign in politics because they don't believe the politicians can do anything because they made all these promises and they never came through. So therefore, they want to stay out of electoral politics. I think that's a very immature and a very bad way to try to even help the community. Because if you don't get involved in politics, even though you get disappointed like I have so many times, you're just not going to get anywhere. So therefore, that's why I'm jumping into this fray, because I am going to show that we can make a difference. So I'll be talking to you guys later, and I'll be sharing a lot of these more and more as now two of my people have gotten me this new little thing here that I can, where is it? Oh yeah, this. So that I can make these films that people say they like and they want to know more of. So that I can get this and not have to have a camera jumping. As soon as I get back, I'm going to open it and learn a little bit more about it, and we'll use it more frequently. So talk to you guys later. I'm going to change it a little bit because today also part of a job. I got to go to Yankee Stadium. Oh, poor me. I got to go to the Yankee Stadium and cover a little bit of the game today between the Yankees and the Houston Astros. Wow. And then from there, I got to jump off and be at a vigil of something horrific that happened today in Puerto Rico, where there was a mass shooting, I heard, and there was going to be a prayer service on LPAC around 5:15, 5:30, and I'll be there today once I get more details on what happened in Puerto Rico. So that's a typical example of what people wanted. People wanted to know more about my day, what I do, film a little bit more, because who never knows, this might be a part of a future video on Netflix on how did this revolution start. So talk to you guys later. Love you all. Ciao.